Second class expert for kendama kenta. I'm not gonna brag. I mean, second class.
Wow.
Let's just so everyone's aware of who they're talking to. You know.
All right, everybody. Welcome back for another interview here on Office Hours. Today, I have one of the best social media managers around in the kendama game. Also, an amazing kendama player. Been through a couple different teams, seen lots of the kendama world through all of his travels, and he's a good friend of mine. I'm really excited to talk today with Bryan Scagline. What up,
Oh
dude?
my gosh, it's actually happening. We're live. This
Yeah.
thing's on. This is crazy. I can't believe
Dude.
this is happening.
Just 100 people watching, no big deal, hanging out.
Cash, dude, I'm so boomer now when it comes to this. I can't see chats or anything. Can I end
Well,
Discord?
it's probably best if you don't. Yeah, like we're live on Twitch right now,
Oh
so
yeah.
if you wanted to pull up Twitch, you could. But a lot of times chat's distracting with their comments. So if there's some good ones that roll through, I'll ask them. But you look good on the camera. Don't you worry. We were just watching your videos and complimenting you on your style and on your hair. Your hair was a big talking point. You have such nice hair, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just got my hair cut like last week, and the guy that cuts my hair, he's like instilled this like 3 years ago. He said it. He was just like, "Your hair is good, but you can." The receding hairline kind of comes to everybody, and he's like, "And you can't ever like go back in time. It's good to start early." And I'm just like, "Dude, I don't need like," and I just hear that every time. I'm like, "Is my hair like?"
No, bro. There's
I'm
too
gonna write
much.
it out.
There's too much of it that's looking good to be
Yeah,
worried about that, man. No,
and I
your
think
hair
it's
looks the
like
same from 9 years ago, bro. Same dude.
it does. I appreciate that. I wanted to dress up for the occasion too.
Yeah.
I had to get the Azura polo
What the
on.
flex? Oh my god. Did,
Top here.
an
Shout out
official
here.
JKA Ozura Kendama shirt. Jeez, bro.
Yeah, because Monday through Friday, I just do social media marketing for a healthcare company, which is about as exciting as it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my job, but like I always like to try to just sneak in like a little Dama attire or something every now and then, just to be like, oh yeah, what was that? I couldn't hear. Like, yeah,
Well, if it's a
big fan.
talking point at very least, you got to call with someone you don't know, and they're like, "Oh, what's that Japanese shirt?" Oh, well, let me
It's
tell
like
you.
this, like this, yeah, right. That's the first thing I tell before any job or anything. It's always like, my name's Brian, and I'm obsessed with this Japanese. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, you know what it's like.
No, well, I haven't had to apply for a job recently, but like I would imagine if I
Well,
did, that would be on the top of my list of things that I would talk about.
yeah,
Dude, your room just I know a lot of people are listening to this and not watching it, but your room is epic, bro. Is that like your office or
dude. Yeah, thank you. It is.
just
It's always been a
nostalgia
dream.
bomb?
Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine to have just like my own office, or to have like my old nerd corner and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll just quickly kind of POV if I walk into my office. This is kind of like what you see, just like Apex,
Sheesh.
art. We're from Pittsburgh, Turner milk crates. Please don't come for me. I've been taking all of them. But just like, yeah, I got my diploma. I'm not that big of a dum dum. I have a degree from Penn State, psychology.
Wow.
Come on, dude.
Hey, let's go.
Got the OG tribute Walmart board. It's Ninja Turtles from my dad.
The full
Got
setup.
some Domerak wall. Domerak wall.
Are
Yeah, man.
the
It's a nice
are
little.
those Ken
Nice little
Garden
board.
racks?
No, those are the Cliff Johns from Chrome.
Oh,
I have
nice,
a bunch of
cool.
those.
I bet.
Dressing them up, dude. One thing, like, you know, it's a slippery slope with like kendama. Like, you get into it and just become like obsessed with it, and that's like I think habitual with a lot of us. I don't know what happened, but right now I'm like chasing all of the original South Park VHS tapes, and I'm
Oh.
like a handful away. And you do look like a dumbass going into a store like looking for a VCR in 2024, just like and then like I bought a VCR because I would have one from like the thrift store for $8, and then plugged it in. It ate one of my tapes, and like the film came out, and I was like, I totally forgot that was even like that thing even happened. You know what I mean?
It doesn't just automatically work. Like it could be
No,
broken.
doesn't just spit out. But yeah, I don't want to flex too much, but
No, please.
yeah, over here we got the this is me as the Rock character from
The
Six Flags. Very
people's
important to
elbow.
me. Second class expert for kendama kenta. I'm not gonna brag. I mean, second class.
Wow.
Let's just so everyone's aware of who they're talking to. You know,
Yeah.
got the OGs. If I
That's
yeah, I got
cool.
the OG. Dude, there's it's it bothers me, but like in the these have never been opened, but the Colin one and the Zach one, the string just like isn't. See how the string just kind of goes over
Ah,
the spike, like on
yeah.
the wrong way?
Yep.
Drives me insane. Not enough to want to open them and fix it, but yeah, it's but I always just wanted a place to like, yeah, have cool stuff like that. Last little thing I'll show is like whole Marks Award from KWC and stuff. You already know I'm gonna frame
Yeah.
those things and put them up. Those little collages of just like Dama trips, like some string tickets, that kind of stuff.
Dude, what the heck?
Creep It Real tour, just
Yeah.
like just good Dama Res Kens, super fire.
Dude, where do you get the I'm trying to think of the word, but like I've done a lot of cool things I wish I framed and put on my wall, but you actually do it. Like where do you get that from? Is that
Yeah,
something like your mom or someone did along the way, or is it something that you just like you're proud of what you do and you like putting it up? Like
dude, I don't want to give you some like deep answer off the bat, but like you're in control of like literally anything you want to do at all times. And like no one tells you this is important. You got to put it on your wall. But like I feel that the first time South Park 64 was advertised in a magazine should be framed on a two-parter and just like put over there. Like it's or like the South Park like Rolling Stones cover when they're in the movie, or it's I just think that like it's cool to have that kind of stuff and just like yeah, I don't know if this is legal to have, but I have it. My mother did give it to me. It's four $1 bills that are like uncut, so they're all just like
whoa.
one sheet of money. I think she went on a field trip when she was young and went to like factory or like I'm so butchering whatever the actual heritage story is, but she is just like was gonna get rid of it or like open it and cut them and use them. I was like, no, just I'll hang that in my wall. That'd be kind of cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of just what we do here. My prized possession, without a doubt, is for Christmas like 2 years ago. My girlfriend got me this signed Dick House
Oh,
skateboard
cool.
deck, which like they're the company that does like Big Brother, Jackass, all that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's actually signed by Spike Jones, Johnny Knoxville, and Jeff Tremaine. So just like
Jesus. That's like worth
yeah,
some money that deck, dude.
I think they retailed for like 300 or something, and there was like a few made, but that was like the one time as an adult for Christmas I went to my girlfriend. I was like, "You do not have to give me this, and if you did, it's the only thing you have to get me. But seriously, not to get." And just,
Yeah.
dude, she pulled through, and I opened up like one of my gifts. It was a Dick House T-shirt. I was like, "Oh, sick!" Like, don't know we're gonna wear this confidently, but and then and then she yeah got me the board too, so that was a nice double whammy and prize possession for sure.
Dang,
Love it.
dude. Yeah, that's so rad. I was about to say like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't hang stuff up on my walls or do anything, but like,
Cool, dude.
it's
Your
it's it,
office is so epic.
it's just such a you know what I mean? Like, there's different types of personalities, and like some people frame stuff up and have it all look nice, and some people just pile stuff in places, and like these aren't hung up. I have games too, but they're sitting on a ledge loosely, like, and
It's
like
so epic.
nothing is framed, and like I have so many cool Japanese like all my dons that like when I see your dons, that's really what hits me is I'm like, dang, I have so many cool certificates that like no one else has. Like that should mean a lot to me, and I for some reason
No, I
don't do that. It's so weird.
especially like the just like the culture in like Japan, like too specifically and stuff. Like I remember Sander, like back in the day, like the first like Japan trip, he was like, dude, they just shower you with gifts and just like
Yeah, they do.
insane mementos and like just meaningful. And it's so yeah, I couldn't imagine the stash of just like unbelievably one of one, zero of zero probably things that you actually have. Like it's but
Yeah.
but this is all nice, but like yeah, if I go baseline in the office, like this is the trenches. Like it's not gross. It's kind of
Yeah.
just like nah, just yeah,
That
it's not beautiful. Yeah, that's why
that's
I'm
the
like up here
realness.
is very cool. Yeah, this is the realness.
Oh man. Well, that's a very very cool intro. Thanks for showing us around your spot, man.
Of course.
it says so much about a person, I think, like whenever you open a Zoom meeting with someone you don't know, that's who you are to them. So, that's cool.
And in the corporate world, we do everything through like Microsoft Teams. So like my camera is like blurred because normally my Mac is like here,
Yep.
but for work we use PCs. So I'm usually sitting like this angle for
Oh.
work, and I have my background blurred because as much as I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't know how professional it may look to have that in the background, but
Yeah. They may
It's
not
also
go with
it's
your marketing idea, like, yo, I have this really cool idea
yeah,
that uses
yeah,
cartoon
exactly.
characters.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, we have this like new initiative we're working on. By the way, is that Donatello over your shoulder right now? Like,
Yeah.
yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Nah, you're hired
No,
immediately if
you're
I see that. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta hit the right
that,
person.
it's on site, dude. It's
Hmm.
I want to talk about it later at some point, but like you're because your office, like I don't know, because you have like a family, like a house. I have a house and I have a girlfriend and like cats, but like we don't have like a bustling family going on. Like, is your office the office, or is it like playroom also, or everyone kind of hangs out, or is this like is this dad's space?
This is my basement. So
Yeah,
we have a 3-story house. So there are 2 other stories that humans could do things on if they so wish. But like, I've been a basement dweller my whole life. So like, even at my house and in apartments, anywhere I've always been, it's like it's just kind of my vibe being in the basement. And so when we got this house, there's a bar over here, and it's all wood paneling. And like, Alex really just doesn't vibe with that. And so when we were here, it's like we don't need 2 living rooms. I needed somewhere to do work. So it kind of
yeah,
morphed into my whole, area as opposed to, but as the girls get older, they're allowed down here more, you know what I'm saying? Because now Emma,
sure.
like, is now that she knows what's going on, she'll sit back here on the couch. I don't have to worry about her knocking everything over. Where Willa comes in, and the first thing she does is pound on my computer and like take stuff off the wall. And I'm like, okay, bro,
That's
you're
your
not
live
allowed
right
down
now.
here, dude. Yeah.
No, you're pointing at Bowser like these are daddy's things. These
No,
are important to daddy. Please don't touch that.
it's a really really hard thing to talk about because they definitely don't understand why you can't play with some toys. Like I have Blunt Man and
I,
Chronic in plastic, and like they're like, let's play with these dolls, and I was like, no, those are daddy's dolls. Sorry, dude.
yep,
You can't open those
those
ones
are
and play
daddy's
with them.
dolls. Uh, that's how it is. Like that's how it is. But
Yeah.
I appreciate the man cave. That's actually one place on my bucket list is to be in your house in the most non creepy way possible. I would like to at least like it'd be like a cool like, condom objective like Matt Sweet's house. Boop in there, like Sanders
Dang.
family's dinner table. Boop in there, like just little,
Mm-hmm.
like little important
Reich's
places for you.
backyard on the list. Yeah.
Exactly the same mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
man. You're welcome anytime, dude. And it's NACO's coming up this year, so I hope you can stay extra or come early and hang out. That'd be dope.
I'm my PTO is dwindling, but but my whole the company I work for, they love kendama. They think it's just like cool. It's best case scenario. I was
Yeah.
like, what else are you into? I was like, there's this like whole second life that I have that revolves around this thing. But no, they're unbelievably cool with it, and
That's
I
dope.
already put in PTO. I put in PTO for NACO, so you heard it here first.
Oh
We'll
wow.
boot on the ground. We'll be there. We'll be
Dude,
there.
look at that, man. Well, I appreciate it. And that's the most recent thing that's going to
Of
happen.
course.
But on this podcast, I like to go back a little bit in our Dama lives and talk about times of old and reminisce about Ozura, Kendamas, and slick paint, because that's just my favorite thing to talk about and something that has been interesting hearing other people's stories about the same timeline because we all lived it similarly but different. And some of the stories hit the same, but not all of them do. So I'm gonna ask you the same kind of question to start it off with. Not even with kendama, even, but like before kendama, as young Skags, as a young man, like were you an athlete? Were you? What did you do in your young life that like would lead you to believe that kendama might be something that would be fun?
I mean, it's a fantastic deep. I mean, early on when I grew up, my first thing that I actually really liked, like I think, is gosh, like I love music, like kind of first. Like when I was little, I remember the theme song to Friends that I'll be there. I loved that song when I was a kid for some reason. Just like was really into like music and like when I was real little, we get like parties and like they'd be playing music and then like parents would be like Brian dance or like just like it's I was always down. I was always outgoing and just like I had no problem kind of just like inserting myself somewhere and just kind of being myself and shout out to my parents for that honestly because they were always like unbelievably supportive of just like be nice to people, say yes, say no, like and like not like yes sir, yes ma'am, that type of thing, but it was just like be
Just
respectful, be
manners,
a
yeah.
regular person. Yeah, like so and that and like the it just kind of worked out. Played baseball as a young man. I played for probably like 7 years. up until the point where like kids started pitching and then like you started getting hit with the ball
Yeah.
and that was like, okay, now I'm scared and now I'm going through puberty and now I'm like punching the dugout. My dad's like, this is a bad look for everybody. Like I think Cody's gonna keep playing baseball and I just got started like skateboarding and they're like, okay, let him wear girls' pants and skateboard. Fine. It's we tried baseball, so let it go.
And
But
Cody's your
no, it's
brother?
always Cody's my younger brother. Yeah, I'm 33 years old. Cody is 30. Be 31 in May. But
Oh, cool.
correct, yeah, best friend. I'm unbelievably tight with my family, and
That's
I
cool.
actually live like ten minutes away from like my parents. My brother
No
lives
way.
like 40 minutes away. He just got married last year, so
Huh.
he's over like by his wife's like family and stuff. But yes, to bring it back in, it was baseball, very sports involved household. Um,
Did
but
you do like musicals and stuff? You said you sang and danced and did stuff. Did you ever like go into that?
I definitely was in chorus. I was never in like band or anything like that. I always wanted to like I played the guitar, I played the bass, I played like the violin like in high school as like an older, but like in the beginning it was music. And I always loved music and I played baseball, grew out of baseball, and from there it was like kind of like skateboarding took over. But before that even it was like uh, I may or may not have won a talent show in fourth grade by dancing to "It's Gonna Be Me" by NSYNC. Um, uh, but
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be I
That's
every time the
beautiful,
song comes on, I still know some of the I'm like, "Dude, don't even tempt me." Like,
dude.
I might bust it out. But, I just always love music and that kind of and then, like, getting into my teens and like middle school, high school, that kind of stuff, it was like skateboarding, and I started playing the guitar in like 2001. And I went in like I took lessons guitar for like 6 years, and I hated it
Whoa.
every single time because I wanted to go in and I wanted to play like Green Day and like I wanted to play Linkin Park off the rip, and the guy was like, "Cool, we're gonna learn scales first," and it's like that's exactly how I didn't want this to go.
Yeah.
But that's where you're gonna start, and
Dang.
yeah, so just skateboarding was everything, and yeah, the skateboarding was huge, and skateboarding is honestly a huge contributor to just like where I'm at now with like kendama and stuff because like that's kind of how it connected. Like was in a band, played like hardcore music, played in Pittsburgh and like tri-state area, like had a van trailer, signed to like a little teeny label, like me and my three friends. We put out like
Dang.
three albums, but it
That's
was
rad.
all local. Very it was like prime of Vans Warped Tour, We Came as Romans, The Devil Wears Prada. Like I was just
Yes.
all I couldn't have been any more. And I was like, this is my life. This is everything.
Oh,
Um,
that's so
and I'm
sick.
like, loved it so much. You can find it out there if you look
Is
up
there
Eyes.
music? Is there music we can listen to?
Uh, you're gonna play it? No, but if no,
N-
yeah,
I won't play it with
eyes
you
have
live, but I'm gonna play it when you're gone for sure.
go to Eyes Have Seen the Glory, and the album is called Aftertaste, and then the album cover is like a dude with vomit running down his shirt, and yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Classic, dude. So were
dude, it was
you
just hardcore, it
so
was
you were
brutal. Yeah.
hardcore. You were not cuz me and you aren't that far apart. I'm 36, so you're only
Yeah.
so you would have been a sophomore when I was a senior and I was wearing tight jeans and you were more committed to it than I was. Like I played in a punk band and like I was more punk. Like I wasn't I was the dude who didn't like emo because I like No Effects and I liked all these harder bands that it was like why would you do that? But I secretly liked all of it and wanted to wear the skinny jeans and like, but I had a dad who like
Dude.
wouldn't let me wear skinny jeans type of vibe. And so I was in my own, I was in the same world as you, but you, like, I'm jealous of how hard you committed to the emo role, you know?
Oh, dude, I just went all in. I was actually like, I know on record that myself and my friend Dylan Pishney were the first guys to wear girls' pants like to our high school in like 2009
Yeah.
because it like got everyone's attention because it was just like, why are you wearing girls' Hollister jeans?
Yeah.
And I'm just like walking around, just like I always dress like this. What are you guys even like talking about? Like, no, you don't, brother. Like, no, you don't. Um, but it was always just like and that goes into like with Dama too. Even like I've always loved like the whole package of things. Like I wanted to learn how to play an instrument so I could be in a band and so I could like dress the way I wanted and like go on tour and be on stage. Like I like the whole package of things. Same with like filming kendama now. It's like someone could land a banger, but if it's like POV and it's like over dead grass and there's like an unwound hose next to him, kind of just like make the setting look nice for me, for everyone. Like it, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like not really, but
No, I
I
get it
think it's like the
100%.
whole package is kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, I think I definitely ran on a tangent there. I don't even know if I
No,
answered the question.
you did. I think like because I just wanted to know. I'm always interested because like a lot of these interviews when we talk to kendama people start when what was the first question is wait how'd you find kendama, you know, and but a lot of us, myself included, did a million other things that lead us to our lives of kendama. And I knew for you music was like a really big one that like obviously that was your kendama for many years.
Yes.
So after high school then is finished, you went to Penn State and your music career ended.
Yep. My music career
As
ended.
mine
Yeah. Once
did
I
the first
graduated.
day I went to college. It was like, well, this
Yep.
is a lot
And I was
harder to
like,
pull off.
well, I started going. I went to school and then so went to Penn State, but also like I went to Penn State like online, like World Campus. So I did all my classes online because at that same time is when I first got hired with Apple. Because I
Mm.
worked at Apple for 10 years before I left in like I remember the exact date, probably 2021 or something like that. But I worked at Apple for like 10 years. So I went from like metal band to like technology and like editing and Apple and just like that was my life for 10 years. But also at the same time, it was like college started, Apple started, and I found Kendama like all at the same time. And that's kind of just like rode all three of those things out. And yeah, the my Kendama story, it's the funniest thing because like I first found it by walking into a cabin and Zach Yord was just there. I didn't really know who he was, but he was like friends with my friends and he had a kendama. And I just kind of like acknowledged it and was like made small talk, but just kind of like, we're like cabin and like in the mountains in PA. But then that's when I was like very much in my music scene, or just transitioning out of my music scene, I would say as much. And
Mm.
I don't know if you knew this, but Zach Yord was featured in a Devil Wears Prada music video years ago. It's the song HTML Rules, dude. I believe it's a little kid with a slingshot, and it's filmed in like this church with like leaves blowing everywhere.
No
Um,
way.
yeah, but Yor was in that. So I showed up and I was just like, I idolized Devil Wears Prada. This guy was in a Devil Wears Prada video, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my brother like this." You know how Zach
Yeah,
responds. So
yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, I was like this thing like." Uh, but yeah, so he shows that, and I was just just like, oh my god, like how do you know them? Like how do I become in the Devil Wears Prada? Like how
Yeah.
do I do that? And he's just like, I have no idea. I was an extra. They asked me to walk around barefoot in this video and kill a bird with a slingshot, and I was so they asked the
Dang.
right guy, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Fit the
But I was
part.
into that, and but this like just from being there like that night and stuff, I just was grilling, heard the click clack sound and saw it and stuff, and I was just like, okay, so what is this? Like same thing everyone does. Like you usually have it on your neck, whatever, and eventually someone's like, so what is this thing? And
Mhm.
the first time I tried it, got big cup, uh, and then from there on out, I didn't land a single damn thing. And it was a black TK16. Was the very first kendama that I ever saw just in the wild.
God, that is the most. Yeah, not everyone has that, but that is the Dom I've heard the most out of anyone. And if it's not black, it's red or natty. Like TKs were just all that was available at the time, man. It's so crazy.
So then, so that's like my friend. So Jord was there, and this guy worked at the time, Dylan Boucher. It was actually his kendama, and he's like, "I'm good at this, but Zach is really good at this." And we kind of just like started that conversation, and then I promptly went home and bought a blue TK16 off of kendamausa.com, and
Do you
it's
know
just
what
like
year it was
absolutely
when you were at that cabin? What year was it?
2009, 10, probably yeah, probably 2010, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So he wasn't even like, "Yo, I'm sponsored. I'm on this squad." Like that wasn't even like part of the pitch, was it? When he was talking to you or
he
no?
was. They had just gone to Japan or came back from Japan. But the one thing he was telling me is he was like, we're working on these like new model. I was like, do you have pro mod? Like he's like, we're working on these like new things that are like they're like spirit animals kind of thing. And he was basically explaining the spirit animals like
The
pro models
promos,
to me, and I was
yeah.
like, that's insane. And then I went home, then I watched like Edit 8, and then I watched I was like, holy shit. And that's when I was just like absolutely sucked in. I was sucked in at that moment, like after the cabin, but then, like, I think like that following Christmas is when the Japan tour came out, and it was like when Turner first did like the quarter balance flip, and
Hmm.
like that silhouette, that like lives rent free in my head. And I remember watching that on Christmas, and like when he did the BB and like it dropped in, and he was like, and something happened in that moment where I was like, I'm gonna do this. I have to attach myself to this somehow. And I reached out to Colin and Zach because I got their numbers, and then I was just like, this is like, a few months, few years, like a year or so later, I was just like, pretty good at the kendama. Uh, I like, but I can offer more with like video and editing and like just get me in front of like Jeremy. Is it Jeremy? Is Jeremy the guy? And they were like, yeah. So I just kind of like I'm bouncing around and fast forwarding and stuff,
No,
but
that. How did you get
yeah.
Colin's number? How did Colin get roped into this? Just because he was Zach's friend?
He was Zach's friend, and he was like, because he was explaining, he's like, well, Colin's kind of the guy that got me into it because, like, as you know, Colin and Jeremy first connected, and then Jeremy's like, we should make more people out of this. And Colin basically like forced Zach's hand into being like, you're gonna play with this now too. And he's like, all right. And Zach started getting like hella sick with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how it went that way. He gave me Colin's number. I texted him like the next day and was like, "Hey, my name's like Bryan Scagline. Like I know Zach. Like I'm super into kendama. Like if you want to do events or something in Pittsburgh, like, I'm very new to this, but I'm very into it. So like
Yeah.
just use me. Help. Let's like help. How can I help you?" Um, I think he responded back actually like that day or the next day. And it was again a very like whisper in the wind call and answer that I could barely understand. But it
Yeah.
was like,
No, that hasn't changed
okay,
then. Okay.
no, not at all. And then yeah, as time passed, like I ended up getting in front of Jeremy
Yeah.
eventually, so it was
No,
nice.
that's so crazy. Okay, so
But
you're in college, right? You're taking online classes.
yep,
You have a kendama as like a very passive thing until 2011, and then you start like being more aggressive with like I'm going to do this. Did How long was it before like did you practice? Did you play a lot more kendama before you started editing and doing stuff, or did you kind of
yeah,
entry
yeah.
into the world of kendama as editing, doing stuff like that?
When I started like playing Kendama, even like I mean, do you know, like looking up like YouTube videos back in the day, it was like some of Colin's videos, and there was like some of Rod's videos were out there, and I think like obviously Ken Garden and like deal
Mhm.
with it. Like I watched some of theirs, and I was kind of just like just trying to piece everything together, like make sense of all of it. Like, cause dude, back in the day, like my first edit, I played Kendama for 2 years before I ever filmed anything because I was just like, I am not ready to do any of this stuff.
Yeah,
And then in hindsight,
same.
it's like Colin wearing gym shorts, just like in a parking garage doing Lighthouse. I'm like, I'm not cut out for this just yet, but I'll get there soon enough. I played for like 2 years. I think I had like five kendamas because like after I got the TK16, I bought like a Zach Yord teal pro model. Then I got a Colin Sander yellow cherry that was slicker than ice.
Yep.
That came in, like the tube.
And heavy.
Um, it's so heavy, like it just, and the
Yeah.
hole was like literally smaller than the spike somehow.
Yeah.
But like, I just like got super into it, like filming and stuff. And it's so funny that if you watch like some of my videos that I first edit, I've contemplated like just taking it offline because it's like so cringe. But I'm like, that's kind of the rite of passage. Like everyone
It
has like their
is.
crappy first edit. Like even Fraser admits he's like, I handed a trick or two in my first edit. I'm just like, it's like blasphemy. But he's like, it's like I don't know. Didn't know anything.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, so I
I,
started
I
like
couldn't
filming like
find
shortly. And
I couldn't find your account. What was your YouTube channel?
it was just Brian's Scagline, I believe.
That's so
Yeah,
crazy.
it's just Brian Scagline edit one.
Y- You've uh
It's like
you've done too much stuff for other companies, bro. All that when I typed you in, all that popped up was
facts.
Kusa and Crom stuff. I couldn't even see your edit one. So you've done a good job of
It,
burying it with all your other cool shit
that
you've done.
that's what happens with social though too. I mean, it's like you put so much emphasis into like everything, but like when you look at your own social profile, it's like I don't even know what to put here now. And it's like kendama accounts. God forbid you post something that's not a kendama because it's like 15 followers out the window. It's like whoa,
Oh
like
my
what the hell?
gosh. I mean, yeah, we're
No,
gonna
it's
have to talk about social media, and I mean, once it's a job for a while, it's really hard to just do it for funsies, for personal life. It's a
you,
hard line to draw, and it's a hard switch to turn off and on 8 times a day. I think, isn't it?
dude, yes, and I was even talking like with Colin and Zach, like literally like this week we were talking, uh, and I was like, because they were just like something about like my mod. I was like thanks, 'cause I think like Zach got one or something, and I was just like, just so you guys know, like food for thought. I'm curious what it was like dropping a mod 10 years ago because you had to do what, like pick what color it was going to be,
Write your
and that's
signature on a
probably
piece of
like
paper and get
right.
it scanned into a computer.
Put it on there. I was like, now you have to like design it, make sure it's honed, drop a video for it, take that video, slice it 5 times, put it on this platform, then take it and put it on these other 4 platforms. That it was like, And hopefully someone out there, because like that's pretty sick, and like buys it. And every time I make something for social, I always try to make it look like somebody who has never seen kendama for the first time is going to see it versus like
Yeah.
somebody for the, you know what I mean? That's always like my goal is to just make someone see it for the first time and think like, holy shit, what is this? And like want to just go deeper immediately. Kind of how I felt when I first saw it, where I was like, what? It just, yeah.
Yeah. When it takes a special person, I think too is the other thing I've realized too. Like a lot of people see things and don't just go, I need to do that, right? But there's like the inquisitive nature is like what makes all us kendama people, I think, so friendly and have be such a good community because there is some tie
Yeah.
that like the a challenge doesn't we are not afraid of a challenge, is kind of the thing I see. Is like you see kendama as a challenge and you stick through that, that says something about you as opposed to trying spike 10 times and be like, this ain't for me, like
Well,
that
that's
mentality
what
is what brings us all together, I think, for sure.
1000%. And I think that's why kendama always, because our kendama is always like this and then like this and like this and like this and then like this and then like this and like, and it's just like it, as soon as it gets like huge and everyone starts playing, it's like amazing. But then like as soon as a few people stop playing, it just slowly starts. And that's why like I don't know, it's always just important to condition that and always just like aim for the people that are like, what is that? I want to go into that. I'm gonna keep rambling, but
No,
yeah,
that's cool. I like rambling. That's what we're here to do, dude. So,
rambling.
you were close with Colin and Zach. You started buying some more Damas. You started playing some more, and I think 9 years ago you were put on the tribute squad, 2015. So is that about right? Like you were just grinding
Yeah,
essentially until they decided to each pick someone to put on the team, and then you were chosen.
it was the craziest thing ever. It was like 2014, 2015. I've been like kind of in Colin and Zach's ear for like a year or so now, where it's like, no, for real, like, what do we do? And then out of the blue, one day, Colin just texted me when he was like, "Hey, we're actually going to be starting." Because like there was the pro team, Alex. Like the pro team was like the three originals, then Alex Smith, and then there was the tribute team. And then Colin was like, "Hey, we're gonna be doing this like tribe team where like the tribute players and the pro players are gonna have like bring a buddy basically to put on the team, and it's their job to kind of like nurture them and show them the ropes and like basically water the garden for the new fresh crops of like the new Kanala players. Like
Hmm.
Kanala USA definitely like planted seeds of Kanala players and grew them as like they for sure always grew the next crop of like players.
Hmm.
Um, and I lost my train of thought completely. What were we talking about? That was what the hell was it?
No, 2015. You getting onto the tribute squad.
Yes, it was the coolest. I actually commented on Kusa posted something like, "What was your like one of your favorite Dom memories or something?" And one of my favorite memories of all time was like 2014, whatever year it was MKO when Funk won. It was the second MKO. That was my first MKO, now Mako ever, and I knew I was like, yes, I'm all in for the tribe video. This is amazing. I was gonna be like a mix between Colin and Zach's pick because Colin also wanted to put this little player named Wyatt Bray on the team as well. And I was just like, I don't even know who this is. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, like, when videos were going to be coming out, it was like, we're going to put Wyatt's out first, then Bryan's. And I'm just like, guys, I've like, no offense, but like, I've been kind of like in your ear about this for years. Like, I don't even know who this Wyatt person is. And then the video came out, and I was just like, by all means.
Yeah.
I almost didn't even want to put my video out anymore because I was like, shit, I thought we were going to like do turntables and stuff and throw some
Have
light leaks in
fun,
here and
yeah.
just go, then go to Hawaii after that. Like, I thought that's what you guys did.
Yeah.
But like, no,
That's so funny.
it was just like, yeah, it was the best, one of the best things ever. So I said yes to being on the tribe team. That starts like work, inner workings of that start like kind of going off, and it's the day I'm leaving to go to Minnesota for the very first time for the very first MKO, and I it's just editing on the fly. I finished my video I'm at the Pittsburgh airport, and I connect to the secure airport Wi-Fi that's always so strong and dependable.
Yeah.
And I Dropboxed my edit to Colin like an hour before my flight. I was like, the video's done, and he's like, perfect. Let's go live today. So it's always Kanama is always down to the wire.
Yes.
And
We're the best procrastinators in the world.
we are goaded for procrastinators. I send the video. I think it's like a 2 hour flight ish to Minnesota. By the time I dropped it, I'm getting on my flight. I land in Minnesota. I take my iPhone 4 or 5, whatever it was, iPhone 4 probably, off airplane mode. And that was when IG was just like I got like a bunch of new followers, and like there was the thumbnail was posted because I think it was pre-videos even like on Instagram, but it was like
Oh,
thumbnail
dang.
like Brian's head on his tribe, and it was just like so overwhelming and such a cool feeling. I get off the plane, I walk out to baggage claim where I meet Keith Matsumera, Smith, Charles, Rager for the first time, and just like those guys. Uh, and Turner was there as well. And I just kind of like bottled all of my like, holy shit, you guys are all the people from the internet. Oh my god, like
Yeah.
bottled that, got in a van, get to the hotel, and then next day I think was when we were at the Mall of America, and you brought me up on stage and you gave me like the coolest rollout. It was like you were saying it like your stomach. You were just like, from Kendama, USA, brand new tribe. I was just like, dude, let's go. Get up on stage, get my ass absolutely handed to me, 0 to 3, three
Oh,
zero. I
no.
put it on the hill.
Oh, no.
And I remember just like getting off stage. I think Turner was the first person I saw, and I was just like, that was my first time ever competing, ever, even playing against somebody,
Oh,
Kendama. And it was on stage at the Mall of America, and it's announced on like
all
one of the
eyes on
grandest
you.
company. Just and I lose terribly, and like have this amazing introduction to give. I remember Turner literally said something along the lines of like, "Yo, that's the way it goes. It's okay. Like, you'll be fine." And I was like, "It will be fine." And then ended up being fine. But that
Yeah.
was probably one of the coolest memories, and
Ah, that's
just like
dope.
anytime you have to get on an airplane for the first time for a kendama, it just feels like oh, we're really out here. We're really doing this. Like it's
It still
on
doesn't
mission.
seem real. It still doesn't seem real. Yeah, that kendama is the reason that we go places. Because every time we meet someone, right, who doesn't have any idea who we are, what we're doing, they're always like, "What?" Like even if they know
Yeah.
kendama, they're still like, "There's you're going somewhere to do that? Like what exactly?" You know?
Well, yeah. Who in the Netherlands plays kendama? It's like funny you asked. Everybody does. So we're gonna go there. Are you going to EKC?
Yes, sir. We'll be streaming it live right here on Sweet Kendama's Twitch.
That's
Third year
right.
in a row. I heard you're going as well. Are you excited?
My very first time ever going. I've been to Latvia a few years ago. Myself and D Westy went there with Kendama USA. It was like a lot of fun and a crazy experience. But
Yeah.
this is I'm my first time going to EKC. I'm unbelievably excited just to see the scene out there because I feel that like Europe is for real carrying the kendama scene at the moment,
Mhm.
like scene and like world. Like I think Europe is just like they're doing it. The content I'm just watching more again, just like it's
They're
dude, I
growing,
can't wait to go
man.
just get in there.
They're
Yeah.
like since EKC 2 years ago, all I've seen is growth. Every year they're just better and better, and it's because there's more and more people who are getting into it and not stopping. So the level rises, just like Japan, man. All those little kids who are 7 are now 15, whooping us all because that's all they've been doing for 8 years straight now, watching us beat them, and now they're like, well, our turn now. Sorry, like.
When's the last time you competed? Like, when's the last time do you think you actually seriously competed in a competition and like you weren't streaming? It wasn't like, but I guess because you go to comps, like, I don't really compete as much because I'm usually like trying doing other stuff. Like, when's the last time you actually were like, I'm bodying this person coming up here?
So last year I made a point to compete at all the places I was streaming. Because
Really?
last year was our second year of streaming. So the first year I didn't because I was like too worried about streaming that I didn't want to think about it or even
Yeah,
worry about it. But then I'm a competitor at heart, so like even if I don't practice the tricks, I
yes, you
was
are.
like, it's worth me getting on stage just to feel alive for a little bit, to shake a little bit, and
Still something.
yeah, so like Battle at the Border, I practiced and I don't even think I beat someone, but I got a point. But the last one I did good at was Van Jam because Van Jam there was some real like baller people, and
Bucket list.
I threw
It's a
some
bucket list.
yeah I hit some nasty tricks on stage and like scared some people who thought they were gonna roll over me, and that made me like. Again, I'm not here to win by any means, but like just I competed at KWC. There's just nothing can recreate counting down from 10 when you're in a gym with 1,000 people who are watching you because of like just no different than you. Everyone's looking at me. Matt Sweets is up. Oh, sick, and I haven't practiced, and so I'm trying my best not
Yeah.
to look like an idiot because it is that fine line of do I worry about all the other things I have to do or should I practice to compete for this
The
event?
Instagram story. Did someone post on the feed today? Does the Twitch work? Like, no, kudos to you guys for doing the streaming and stuff. We all follow each other on social media and
Yeah,
like talk and stuff. And dude, praise to you and Cody for just like dealing with it and like the headache that has to. You guys have it nailed down and like it seriously is putting on for like kendama around the world. So it's yeah,
I
kudos to you
appreciate
guys.
it. Thanks a
big
lot,
time.
man. Yeah, we like it. We like doing it. We got good at it over COVID, so it feels like it feels good now. I feel like I have it somewhat
Yeah,
figured out, which is but again, it comes down to equipment in the end of the day, man. We're still like using whatever we can to make it work and using 8 adapters to get things to work the right way. Like it's not beautiful, but
yeah,
Cody is a wizard when he gets in stream mode. So shout out producer
yeah.
Codes
He
for always making it happen, dude.
thought just like the bags that it take, like the equipment, like just the
You
photos of Cody being like TSA didn't take the bag apart this time. Like I feel that now, and I'm unbelievably disconnected from any of it. I'm just like, oh, just let the boy get on the plane. Oh my god,
oh
because it
god,
looks sketchy. It looks crazy. It's like
dude.
cameras, wires.
I,
It's
I quit
I don't know,
waiting
but man,
for
it's
him. Like
funny.
I can't wait for him anymore. I just told him I'm like, bro, you're on your own, dude. If you call me if they're putting you in detention, like other than that, I'll see you at the gate because I waited a few times and it is 50 pieces.
Yeah,
They take out one at a time and they don't put
well,
it
there's
back. So Cody has to put it back like Tetris, and it is like it is the
yeah.
funniest
Here's
thing.
the Yes, they look they're doing their job because it's like, okay, a black bag filled with wires and cameras, and okay, I'm not gonna
Batteries.
wait a second, look at this. Like it's yeah,
Yeah.
then he has to put it away. Then it has to work once you gets that.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't touch that 10-foot pole. You're doing God's work.
Oh
Please keep
man.
doing it. Yes.
Yeah, well, we will. We'll be at EKC. We'll be at Las Vegas this weekend. Are you going to Vegas?
I'm not going to Vegas. No, I'm not. My PTO is dwindling. That's why, like, as
Oh
soon
yeah.
as NACO popped up, that's where I was like, doing EKC, definitely doing NACO. It's like absolute no brainer. Went to Battle of the Board this year, which I think that like just randomly, I think that the kendama moment for I got a signature model for the first time in my life ever this year, and still I think one of the coolest things to happen this year is Nanoka to come to Battle at the Border, jet lagged, whoop everybody's ass, go on the whole dude, that you can't describe. I never felt something like in that room before, like it
Yeah.
that to me still is like I literally got a mod this year, and it's still like Nanoka kicking everyone's ass was like that. I almost cried. I was like, this is literally like beautiful.
Yeah, her first run was
Like,
just like when she beat Alex Smith the way she did, it was kind of like, well, this is different. We're gonna see some insane kendama today, and I even though that's cool, like the feeling you felt though getting your first mod can't be taken away, even after 9 years
yeah,
of grinding for it. It's you know what I'm saying because you've had a unique career, let's say, as a professional
yep,
kendama player. Like we talked about Kusa, but that came to an end, right, at a certain point.
yeah. Konami USA like is I think Konami USA to me always feels uh like everyone's first like amusement park you went to as a kid. It's like in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, it's Kennywood. It's like the classic. Everyone
Valley Fair
knows.
here.
Everyone goes.
Mhm.
Yes, like and it's like my first Konami was Konami US. It's like it's always felt like that to me. Um, and just like yeah, I think that like a couple of years ago, I was like I've always loved Chrome. Like Konami USA, I worked in the I used to live in Atlanta for a bit and did social there, and like all the Chrome stuff was always like sick. Like the Kusa team would come through, and Jeremy would let us grab stuff from it, and kids they would just swarm like the Chrome B days and that kind of stuff. And Jeremy
Yeah.
was finally like, okay, look, you can like get kaizens and like tributes and pro. Like I'm literally buying my team Chrome stuff. Like at this point, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
you know the feeling. And I just always thought that like I did want to kind of take a hiatus. Like in 2019, I was like I feel good, but it wasn't like a kendama thing where I was like I want to get right off into the sunset. Like thanks for playing or anything like that. I still had gas in the tank, and I just started working, kind of working on myself professionally, and just like I felt like I gave a lot to kendama, but also still wanted to do it. And 2020 hit, and I was a free agent, and I started just playing more kendama than ever because like I mean you with our whole lives are kendama. So much so that like the last thing I find myself doing is like playing with a kendama.
Yes.
And like it's so difficult to find that balance, and it was cool to like be able to just post on my own and like I dropped an edit like with a sweets cushion that you guys sent me, and like
Nice.
that's on YouTube actually. It's called What's Poppin'.
Oh
That's one
yeah.
that's like I think pretty fire. It's a Jack Harlow song.
Oh dope.
But that was a really cool one. And honestly, like I was just looking at my life like, and I told everyone like even like growing up like with Zach Magnuson and Logan Tosta, like I'm not taking credit for any of their like endeavors now, but like, I always would try to instill like playing kendama is definitely challenging. You should focus on it, and you should like always give it to kendama. But if you want to like maybe make something of this, you have to find something that's going to give back to kendama, where you have to like maybe learn about cameras, learn about computers, learn about like marketing, or just like something that's going to give back to kendamas. Because I do look at it as like eventually, if somebody stop, if you're a football player and you stop throwing hail marys, they're going to find someone else that can. Or if
Mm.
you're not landing 10 tap on stage, somebody else is going. And it's not like malicious, but it's like it will just grow, advance, evolve, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Kendama USA, I still look at as like I love Kendama USA. It's still like I love Chrome inside and out, but still there's a piece of me that almost if I did split it, like I probably love Kendama USA like 51% more than like 50. It's something about it. It's like I still
It's
it's probably
ingrained
like
in
just like
your
the glory
DNA somehow.
of DNA.
Well, the calling and the yard factor too. I mean,
When do you
they're the
who
legends
else
of that, you know?
who else's kendama? I'm not even bragging. I'm just being honest. Like who else's kendama journey started with you walked into a party and Zach George was standing there with a kendama. Like it's pretty insane. Like it's kind of like right place, right time, and just like the right skill sets. And like we get along really well. Like his family has a houseboat. Like I love his parents. His parents love us. Like my girlfriend Abby and stuff. So we always go there in the summertime on their boat and they have like an awesome like sleepover. It's awesome. We do it like every year.
Yeah.
But yeah. I also love Chrome. Having said that, a lot. Chrome is great.
Yeah.
Chrome has gone through some crazy shit
Yeah.
as of late, which was very scary because at that point in time, I didn't know if I was going to be when Chrome kind of like crashed and burned. I didn't know if I was about to send a sponsor me tape to you or if I was going to send this because I was just like I have gas in the tank. I'm extremely brand loyal. Like I want to keep like just watering this garden for lack of a better phrase. And
Yeah.
um yeah, I just it was 'cause even when like Chrome like went under for a bit and kind of came back up, like it was very quick. It was very quick. Like Rasmus and Elias and Ulrich, like the guys that run Chrome now, they were the ones that kind of like were helping run Chrome anyway. So when we kind of evolved, it almost was like our ship was taking on water. It was going under, and the whole guys in the boat were just like, let's dig this water out of here and just make this run still. And that's what we're doing. We're still doing, and community has actually been very gracious, and I appreciate that because running social media is like scary at times. Like just for anybody wondering, if you ever post an NFT on your page, the community will literally unfollow, hate, and stomp all over you. So, word advice to anybody: don't drop an NFT, because that will change everything uh,
Oh
for the
God.
worse. But it's all
Oh.
part of trying new things and developing and stuff. But I'm really
You got to
happy with
take
Chrome right now,
swings.
and
You got to take swings,
you
man.
got to, yeah, you have to. So it's like a box of stuff here right now that's going to be coming out. So I'm really excited we're doing this. I'm really just happy for the opportunity still because like
So you still work for them,
it can
or just a player?
Chrome.
Yeah.
Chrome. I play for Chrome, but I also am paid employee by Chrome as well. Yeah,
Oh,
for doing all the
cool.
social media marketing. Ben Kent from he's from France, right?
Ben Kent?
Ben, Italy. Yeah, the free runner.
I'm not
Ben, where are
sure.
you from? Is it
I'm so
Italy?
bad with names.
No, you know exactly. I mean, you know I'm talking about for
Yeah.
sure. But you saw his face. But he's like our brand like coordinator and stuff. But yes, I'm very much like all social and yeah, it.
Yeah.
Still love it. We have meetings every single Monday where we click with everybody and
Oh, it's dope.
yeah, I love it. I don't know if I'm like running out of gas while saying it. I'm just thinking about like, oh yeah, shit, I haven't answered the Discord or like the WhatsApp in a while or the DMs. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, do all the social. Oh God. So
I have
it's
some
gonna
work
be
to do. How long's this meeting? Or how long's this interview?
no, it's
Nah, dude.
yeah,
You
I
juggle a
love
lot of
it. I
stuff
love it.
as
I
a
love
social
it.
media person. It is just something that like happens. But it's cool to know like that you're still actively involved and that like after everything that happened, they still found value in what you brought to the company and stuff. So even and
Yeah.
you get to have two jobs. I mean, that's more work, but that's kind of cool. You get to have both. You get to have a real job that gives you health care and you get to do kendama stuff. What? That's pretty chill.
You're yeah, when like 10 years ago I could have cared less about all that stuff, but now it's like being a 33-year-old man, like the down payment on my house was from kendama because I fortunately have like I've always had like a full-time job. Like when I worked at Apple, I was going to like Toy Fair and like doing Kusa stuff in Japan the first couple of times. Like I was working at Apple, so I was very much like can I please have off these dates so I can go because I want to do this? And like, God, Toy Fair, those videos are misleading because back in the day it looked awesome, but when you're actually there, it's like, no, this is
A
for real work.
grind.
Like, it is a grind. Like,
Yeah, we do a really good
so
job of
misleading.
making the videos look fun. Like the Gallaghers forever asked me to come to Toy Fair, and I was like, guys, you don't
You
want to
don't.
go, and I'm not paying for you to go because all you're gonna do is scare every person that comes by my booth, and that's what it took us 2 or 3 years, us and Kusa. We were trying to out pro each other for years there, and then we all realized like no one wants to talk to someone who knows how to do it the best,
No.
or like if they ask you, show them. But other than that, all you're doing is scaring people who have no idea what the f you are playing with. You know what I'm saying?
Like lighthouses, airplanes, and jumping sticks go a long way.
Yeah.
They go a really long way. And that's where I think that like I know we're coming close to time and stuff, but like that's where I think like a word of advice to anybody who's listening about kendama. And if somebody walks up to you and says, like, what is that? Do not start tapping and juggling in front of them for the love of God. Just show them a big cup, explain it's about hand-eye coordination, and then maybe get a little funky if you want to. But how many times have you seen someone be like, "Oh, it's like this," and it's just like,
Yeah.
come on, dude! Like you're repping for all of us right now. Like by somebody showing kendama to somebody for the very first time, whether you want to realize it or not, like you're repping kendama as a whole. Like every kendama player is repping for kendama. Like you can play a sweets kendama, you can play kendama USA, you can play GT, but like you're still repping kendama. Like
Oh
if you
yeah.
see a guy holding the hockey stick across the street, like you're gonna look at the brand, or you're gonna see a guy holding a hockey stick. Like it's there's obviously more to it than that, but that's just kind of how I look at it. Like
Yeah,
zooming out.
and I think you like you had mentioned before, your timing is impeccable, but like you joined the Toy Fair squad when it became work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were fighting for every account and like there weren't a small amount of them. There were a lot of people interested, and so it went from being fun to being real because we all learned what not to do essentially every single year or what to do more of. And you were implemented at a time where they were trying to be efficient, not have fun filming cool YouTube videos, because that, well, they were still
Yeah,
trying probably, but it wasn't, it's hard to recreate those videos that you have in your head about an event, you know?
I'll be honest with you right now. When I started when I started working at Konami USA and like moved to Atlanta and left Apple, that's right when the primes came out. It's like big cups came out, and it was just like,
Oh.
oh, we're screwed. And that's when like mystery boxes kind of started coming out, and like everything. I started literally when like everything started to evolve, and it was like, uh oh. So I've
Dang,
had
yeah.
my challenges with it and stuff too, but it's like it's all always for the love. It's always for the love.
Yeah. No, dude, that's so crazy. Yeah, because I was chasing Konami USA for 5, 6 years before you got to the helm, and I finally caught up. You just happened to be the person in charge. Oh, which is just,
That's
it's crazy how our lives, come together now, and we're friends who've traveled the world to different places, and it's really cool, man, to have you on
for
and
real.
just to see us both grow through the years, because and he is a kendama player, dude. We just watched your edits, like your skills, like you weren't joking. You've put a lot of work into your skills as a kendama player, and even from
Yeah.
2021 to this most recent pro edit, it's like a lot of levels up, which is super, super
Yeah.
sick.
I appreciate that very much because it's always like I've always been into like the not like art side of kendama, but I've always really just liked it to be it's an individual thing. It's like not really relying on like a handing off a baton. It's like it's like an individual sport, and I just think it's like cool to be able to do that and like level up. And uh, I went to Dama Madness in New Jersey a few weekends ago, and it was awesome. And I can't stress how important it is to go to a actual event like in person because like do people show up and it's just so awesome and I missed it so much and I competed in freestyle for the very first time in my entire life at a Kanama
Whoa,
event
let's
and
go.
I knocked out like one or two people I think too that were like I even was like dude no I shouldn't win I should not win like it's like one I forget one of the homies I was going up against was doing like taps jugs downs I was like missing those things, and I went up and I did a round. I went up to the wall, was doing like wall bounces off, and then did spike, and it like
Got the points. You got the points.
the fundamentals work. The fundamentals will
Yeah,
work.
dude. They
It
really
worked.
do, dude. When I hate freestyle like for that reason because
I was terrified.
I I hate it more than anything in my life. Because it's
I'm not
you
a
have a
freestyle
million
player.
tricks you want to do, and then you go up and you're like, can't compute, and you just start lighthouse flipping or whatever it is you feel comfortable doing. It's so insane.
And like, I don't know about you, but I don't land tricks first try. I probably landed a trick first try in my entire life, maybe 5 times. Like, it takes me forever to land tricks. So like, I can't just go like bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, yeah.
I need like time in between. I need like every if freestyle was like every fifth attempt when you landed it, then I'm pretty
You'd be
good.
the
But
king.
dang,
Ah, dude. So you mentioned a few edits along the way as we were talking. Colin Sander edit 8 and stuff. Was there like,
yes.
was that the edit? Like, was there an edit? Oh, you said Turner Thorne doing the border balance flip. Like, is it that video that kind of was like, well, kendama's what I'm gonna do now? I lost your audio. Is that me or you? Yo.
You hear me?
Yeah, now again.
You can't. All right, I'm not gonna touch my phone then because I realized my microphone or something was using this, so I'm not gonna look it up on my phone. But Kusa Japan 2012, I think, is
Yeah, yeah.
like that's one of the goats. When I was a free agent, definitely watch Skags What's Poppin'. That's with I think it was like a basketball themed like Sweet Stama.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. We did a
it
V series like that.
rips. Absolutely rips. And shit, what else? No, those two. I mean, don't look at any of my other videos. Look at the recent one. The most recent one is cool.
Yeah.
Edit 8 is dope. Yeah. Oh, favorite edit of all time probably is Grain Theory versus Japan VHS workout tape. The one where Jake like filmed it, and then the crazy person got a VCR. Like he
Oh
basically
yeah.
filmed everything on Canons, edited the video on his computer, and then got the cables and exported it onto a freaking VHS tape. So he just went into the thrift store and got like VHS tapes, and one of them was like a workout thing. So he just
Dude,
recorded on that and sold them.
is Jake not the most
That's the coolest.
extra coolest human that we know? I mean, who does
Because
that?
because then
Why?
then he uploaded the VHS. So he exported it onto VHS tape and then took that VHS tape and uploaded that to the computer. So it is real grain you are seeing in that video. And I just think the attention to detail in that human being, he, dude, if Dama has a hype man, like it has to be him, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. There's a
The,
lot of
the
contenders, but like
the dedication to aesthetics, to your room's point, I feel like that's Jake doesn't just I just set up a booth. I put a tablecloth on a booth and I have some damas. Like I don't take that extra step of what's the
Jake is
experience
serving.
going to be at my booth and what are people going to leave feeling when they leave my booth and he
He's
takes
serving you
so much.
drinks while you're shopping and like
I think
makes
he
the
sold more
menu.
coffee and tequila at his booth than kendamas at Battle at the Border. Like
He so
he's
out of mugs.
hilarious, dude.
Yeah, it's always funny though too that it's funny to see like what sells like crazy in the kendama world because like we put out kendamas every single day, week, month, but it's like the deal with it plushie. I bought 2 of them. I was like, that's amazing. That's amazing. And just like just stuff like that. It's so funny to see like what takes off, and you're like, that's what the okay, all right, that's what people want.
Dude, trust me, I drop a dama every Friday and I still haven't figured it out. You cover a dama in fuzz though. That's all you have to do, it turns out. Just make it fuzzy, dude.
For real. I didn't even think of when we were talking about that like a few months ago. I I didn't even think about the Ken being fuzzy.
Oh, really?
Like I no, because the one that the prototype
Yeah.
that we had is like it's just the ball, and I
Yeah.
was like, "That's hilarious, I love it." I did not even know because the grip and the Ken changes everything because they're resistant. I'm not gonna explain it to you. You obviously made it, but like it's like I was very impressed.
No, that's crazy that you didn't know the Ken was fuzzy too. That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, who knows, man? And we've been 14 years in the game, and in the next 14, who knows what more crazy things will be made? Look at the novelties that have come out of Japan in the last 90, 100 years of kendama. So, um,
yeah,
anything is going to be nuts, dude, going forward.
big
There's a
facts.
couple questions I want to make sure I didn't miss. RK asks,
Please.
RK wants to know if you remember the 3 things to every great success.
Oh my gosh. Uh, it's actually written down in this book to my right, Bevel Worship magazine that RK is featured in that I had her sign at Della Madness.
Oh, dang.
I need to unpack that box and brush up on it, RK. I
Yeah,
need to.
that's
I
funny.
remember it was just it was private between us. That was a special moment. I'm not gonna go and say that on the for the
Oh,
world to hear. Come
yeah,
on.
I'm sorry for asking even. We'll keep that one off the list. One other person asked, hair product. What do you use to get your hair looking so nice?
Oh, this is gonna haunt me forever. I use a little tube called Big Sexy Hair. And it's made by a company called Big Sexy Hair, and it's red and black, and it's like in a little tube. And I get a little bottle sent to me on Amazon, just like a reorder thing every bi-monthly.
Wow, every 2 weeks,
It's like
ripping
a baby
through.
powder, like a baby powder dust, like the way you would season food. Like I just season my hair, and it just fortunately stands up.
What? You do all that with dust? Hair dust?
It's I don't think I have any on my person right now,
Look at
but
this guy. Of course
this would be the
he's.
this would be the time. It's in the bathroom because
Oh,
Abby also needs it. So
classic. Well, it looks great.
yeah, I'm not telling that secret either. Yeah, I'm not
No,
telling that
yeah.
secret either.
Someone want to
Next
know
question.
what'd you do at Apple?
Oh, I started as a part-time specialist, and then within 1 year, I was an expert, and then from there on, expert, business team, genius administrator, RCC at home specialist during COVID. So I had to help sell iPhones like via chat.
Dang.
Imagine selling an iPhone to like your mom over AIM chat and
Oh
explaining details and
God.
how to purchase it. It
I
it
mean,
should be a human torture device. Like
yeah.
explaining AOL style. This is the newest.
Go to
I'll leave it there.
settings and tap Bluetooth. Oh
Right,
my
right.
God.
But the last, the last thing I was a creative at Apple, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved Apple. It was time for new stuff as well because Apple
Yeah.
retail is like the least sexy of Apple for sure. And if you want to go
Oh,
corporate,
word.
you have to move like to Cupertino or Texas, and I'm a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, you're a big Pittsburgh guy, dude. Is that like the Steelers, like all the things? They're your teams,
I'm
or do
like
you not
big
care?
on the I'm big on the camaraderie of it. Like I won't put it on if I'm home by myself or it's Abby and we usually won't put a game on. But if like our friends are getting together for something, it's like I'm black and gold head to toe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not a poser, is it?
You are like a bandwagon fan, you know? Like if they're doing good, you're
Yeah.
there celebrating, but if, you couldn't care less if
Yeah.
they're losing all season.
Yeah, I just want people to be happy because if they win, everyone's happy. If
You
they
just want to
lose, it's
party on
like
Sunday with everyone. That's all you want to do. Let's be
I
real.
wish I could party on Sunday, dude. I wish
Oh
those
yeah.
days are behind me. I could if I drink more than 3 beers, I feel like I slept on the street. I can't do it like I used to. We'll see in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam,
Yeah.
Amsterdam, we will see.
Dude,
We'll
in
see if we can
Amsterdam,
still
we're
do it.
gonna we're gonna turn it up. We have 3 beers for breakfast in Amsterdam, dog. After our
Already.
espresso and bagel sandwich. Okay. I could talk to you
After
the
our
rest
coffee
of
and cigarettes.
Dude, I could talk to you all day, man. I haven't laughed this much in a interview in a while, so I really appreciate you being here and for
Dude,
giving me
thank
your
you.
time, dude. Because it is you are a legend in a different way of kendama than the legends you learn from. But to me, you've done a lot for kendama, putting it on the map and making it look really cool and approachable in a lot of ways that people may have never gotten into it if it wasn't for what you did. I think with Kusa over the years. So. I appreciate you and what you've done, and I can't wait till the next time we get to kick it.
Dude, I can't thank you enough. Shout out Sweets. Shout out you. Shout out everybody. Shout out the Konami universe listening. I love you guys. Sincerely would not do this without you guys and the support. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you for having me on. This is a blast. If you ever hit a lull, you need someone to hop on and just beat your ear a bit, you know a guy.
Hey, sounds good, dude. I'm about it. We'll have you on
That's
again
right.
sometime, man. All right, Bryan. Thanks a lot, buddy.
See you in Europe.
See
Bye.
you later.
Later.